Do you believe that abortion should be legal if the mom finds out that her baby has Down syndrome? What is the difference between a baby that's 10 weeks in the womb and your 10-year-old?
That is not a good faith argument. It's not the same.
It's not about resources, it's about values. So let me ask you this question. So since you're a medic, when does brainwaves begin for a baby?
Within the first 4 weeks.
Yeah, okay. So brainwave, how about heartbeat?
6 weeks.
Right. So how is that not a life if it has a heartbeat and brainwaves?
When you have this child inside you, right? The baby is supposed to
Oh,
be...
it's called a baby now. Oh, not a fetus. So wait, if it's a baby, that means it's...
So if you care about children...
Oh, now it's a baby. We got him, everybody. You see, this is the key of the abortion argument. It's a fetus, it's a clump of cells, but every so often they'll use the word baby, and you and I both know babies deserve constitutional protection.
Then where is the help
murder.
for them once they're born?
The help? I'll tell you the help. We give them Medicaid, we give them charitable assistance. There's people, by the way, we know we have 2 million people on the adoption waiting list. Two times as many people on the adoption waiting list than abortions every single year.
How many people do you know actually adopted a child?
A lot, actually. How many of you guys were adopted? A lot of people. Look at all these miracles of adoption around you. Praise God that your mom didn't have an abortion. Praise God your mom didn't have an abortion. Praise God your mom didn't have an abortion. These are all miracles that I'm glad that your mom had the courage to put you up for adoption and have somebody else raise you so that you could be here today and enjoy life. We are the crusaders of life. The Democrats are the cult of...
They just want people to be able to live without having to suffer. You have not addressed at all the women who are literally going septic.
Well,
they do, and you literally know for a fact that they get septic, go into the hospital,
First
and
of all,
then
let's
literally
talk about the
die
septic
in
thing.
the parking lot.
No, okay.
Why is that okay?
These cases are so exceedingly rare. Let me address it. You're talking about 10 or 12 cases a year and 1.5 million abortions a year. No person in this audience...
Those numbers aren't accurate.
No, they are actually.
1.5 million.
Yes, they're... Yeah.
As soon as I had that abortion.
Come on up to the microphone. Why tell him. Yeah, come on up. Why don't you tell him this? Yeah.
So my doctor.
Talk in the mic.
My doctor told me that me and my baby were gonna die if I didn't get an abortion.
And was he
At
wrong?
18 weeks. After I had the abortion, my doctor informed me that my life was actually not at risk, and I was fully liable for paying for the entire abortion.
So what about all the people who aren't you? What about the people who do get very sick and die, like
hold on.
Tomlin?
But no, we are talking about a couple. Just so you're clear, you are arguing on the extreme of the extreme. How about this? Let's come to some common ground. Let's say abortion can be legal if the mother's life is in danger. Would you then say outlaw all the other abortion?
That is not a good faith argument.
Hold on. Because because you've been going all in. All of your chips are about life of the mother. So I will grant it for you. Let's say no abortion, life of the mother. Okay? But then therefore it's perfectly okay. If you say your life is at risk, you can get an abortion. Shouldn't all the other abortions be illegal then?
If you have the social system set up to actually help these people raise the children, there wouldn't be an
so
issue.
It would be like, I don't know, food stamps? Like,
which people can't get because they get denied on a regular basis. A lot of times they can't get housing. Most of the time the homeless don't get help. Drug addicts oftentimes are also people who are suffering from the same mental illness.
It's really interesting, though, because then what do you have to say about the alarming amount of abortions that come from people that earn more than 6 figures a year? It's not about resources. It's about values. Here's the thing. I will never argue for a neonatal program, which means, of course, the gestational time a baby is in utero, where we allow the baby just because you don't have enough money in the bank account. By no moral standard is it ever okay to be able to interfere with the life of another because your life might be minorly disrupted. Correct? I mean, apply that out further. For example, if you have a 3-year-old in your house and you lose your job, can you a 3-year-old because it makes it easier to pay the grocery bill? Of course not.
I understand entirely where the issue of trying to take care of a child is. I lost one. I understand more than anybody how damaging that is.
I'm sorry that happened.
Type 1 diabetes took my 10-year-old from me, and I don't wish that on anyone in the world. But at the same time, the people who are asking for this are not doing it for themselves. They're doing it
Let's try
because
to find
they
some
don't.
common ground. So your 10-year-old was taken from you.
Yes.
Then I asked you to have compassion for the people that are in the same moral equivalency that are not as developed as your 10-year-old is in the womb, that you are turning a blind eye to.
It's not the same
Why
thing.
is it? Why is it? No, this is important. Hold on one sec. This is important. Why is it not the same? What is the difference between a baby that's 10 weeks in the womb and your 10-year-old? What is the moral difference?
There is 3 that I can name off the top of my head. 1, the baby that's coming is something that you need.
Got it. Yep.
It is. You're not going to say it's not.
No, it's okay because
again, these little trigger words and
they're not trigger because it does. Okay, fine, but what is it? Is that they're not as big?
No, it's 3 things.
Okay.
You need resources. You need ability to consistently
No, that's
care.
not the point. I'm talking about moral worth, not resources.
This is the same thing. You
No,
need
it's
to be
not.
able to devote that time because so many
Okay,
people raise
let's
kids
pretend-
and don't actually put time into caring about those
LeBron
kids.
James knocks up a woman. So all the not inconceivable, right? Worth billions of dollars. So plenty of resources.
You should say the Foo Fighters guy.
So $1 billion, okay? He's worth $1 billion. The baby's in utero. How is that baby any morally different than your 10-year-old who passed away tragically? I'm sorry about that.
And for everybody here, get your kid checked for type 1 diabetes. I promise you, we had her tested on a regular basis, and she passed away from organ failure in the middle of the night.
Okay, so, but I just want to close up the conversation.
Morally conversations on this subject. The child that is being developed isn't here yet. And because of the fact...
What do you mean not here yet? It's
I'm trying
here.
to get to that.
I can see it on an ultrasound.
I totally get you're saying that. So the point of what I'm trying to say is that there is a lot that goes into raising children. And people don't have the resources, the tools, the mental stress, and the ability to physically take care of it.
I got to get to...
Oftentimes, we like to talk about, well, what if they could be this thing?
No, this is...
What if they could be...
This is very important. We have moral clarity. We as conservatives refuse to ever say that murder is acceptable based on...
Except for when you want it in prison.
Well, I'm sorry, what?
You're very fine with when it's in prison.
Wait, you mean the death penalty for murderers?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the death penalty is not murder, it's killing, 2 different things.
That's literally the straw hair argument.
Well, no, I mean, we have 2 different words. So, for example, self-defense is killing, murder is the taking of a defenseless, innocent life. Yeah, those are 2 different things.
Yes.
Okay, right. So, killing is different than murder. But do you actually think that someone who's on death row for raping and murdering an entire family is the moral equivalent of a baby that is in the womb?
Are we supposed to stoop or be better than that?
Well, no.
Your literal whole
we're supposed
argument
to
is that
administrate.
we literally are supposed to be better.
No.
And you're telling me that it's okay because we're stooping to his level.
Well, hold on. No, one is administering justice. It's administering justice. The baby in the womb.
Is it? Most of the time they're mentally ill. 90% of the time, these people don't know what they're doing. They're in situations that cause them to be...
Last question, which I think is important. And I promise after this it'll be over, which is, do you believe that abortion should be legal if the mom finds out that her baby has Down syndrome?
So you're saying that if this person... I can answer my question, thank you.
It's a yes or no question, and it's a morally important one.
You're equating Down syndrome to terminal illnesses.
No, because, hold on.
Because that's a straw hair argument.
I'm asking it's not an argument, it's a question. I will say it should be illegal to be able to terminate a baby if you find out it has Down syndrome. What say you?
A baby should not be terminated for any other reason than protecting the life of the mother. So in that regard, I agree.
Okay, got it. So how do you define life of the mother then?
Anything that can severely hinder her quality of life.
Got it.
Her ability
This is important. So when you guys hear life of the mother, they don't mean that the mom's going to die in the emergency room. He just said quality of life. So if it might be that you can't go clubbing anymore, or might
that is not what I was saying.
Oh no, you said quality of
Yes,
life.
there's
that
more
is
to quality of life than just clubbing. I literally mean being able to go outside, being able to stop postpartum depression, making sure that these people...
No, that's fine. I want to get to the next question. We have clarity but not agreement. I don't believe that just because a baby is smaller, not as developed, happens to be in a womb, and dependent on a mom, they're of lower moral worth than the people in this audience.
No one's saying that.
No, you are saying it,
not.
actually. Thank you for being here. We'll keep on defending the unborn, and you will not. Thank you.
Be supposed to.
The baby is supposed to. The baby is supposed to. Literally are supposed to be better.
No.
Literally are supposed to be better.
No.
Be supposed to.
You're supposed to finish your homework before watching TV. You're supposed to finish your homework before watching TV.
Be supposed to. Is liable for.
After I had the abortion, my doctor informed me that my life was actually not at risk, and I was fully liable for paying for the entire abortion. After I had the abortion, my doctor informed me that my life was actually not at risk, and I was fully liable for paying for the entire abortion.
Is liable for.
The landlord is liable for the maintenance of the building. The landlord is liable for the maintenance of the building.
Is liable for.
Common ground.
How about this? Let's come to some common ground. How about this? Let's come to some common ground.
Common ground. We need to find common ground to resolve this dispute. We need to find common ground to resolve this dispute. Common ground.
Go all in.
No, because you've been going all in. All of your chips are about life of the mother. No, because you've been going all in. All of your chips are about life of the mother.
Go all in.
He went all in on his first investment. He went all in on his first investment.
Go all in. Suffer from.
Drug addicts oftentimes are also people who are suffering from the same mental illness. Drug addicts oftentimes are also people who are suffering from the same mental illness.
Suffer from.
Many people suffer from the high living cost. Many people suffer from the high living cost.
Suffer from. Turn a blind eye to.
That are not as developed as your 10-year-old is in the womb, that you are turning a blind eye to. That are not as developed as your 10-year-old is in the womb, that you are turning a blind eye to.
Turn a blind eye to.
She turned a blind eye to the mess in the kitchen. She turned a blind eye to the mess in the kitchen.
Turn a blind eye to. Off the top of my head.
这是一个非常常用的口语短语，通常用来表示随口回答，或根据当下的记忆说出某事，并未经过深思熟虑。
Is 3 that I can name off the top of my head. Is 3 that I can name off the top of my head.
Off the top of my head.
I can't answer that off the top of my head. I can't answer that off the top of my head.
Off the top of my head.